Governor Perry attempted to convince Texas voters that he needed to talk tough about climate while ignoring the ravages of the climate that he sees all around you. This summer's prolonged drought is a good indicator of the kinds of changes that we're seeing all over the state as a result of climate change. And our seasons are beginning to shift, as any farmer can tell you. We have springs that are beginning earlier, falls that are ending later, and significant changes in our cropping patterns. And those are endangering significantly not only the economy of Texas, but most importantly, the economy of our family farm. And as Governor Perry is fond of saying, Texas has already begun to make a big down payment on climate. However, his actions belie his words because of the enormous number of coal plants that he has been rushing to permit. And today, along with Sierra Club, we're going to be issuing a citizen's citation to the governor because he's endangering the health of Texas, its economy, and our climate because of his inaction to reduce global warming gas. We think their argument is fundamentally flawed, and that's why the EPA, after years of study, determined that this was an air contaminant that needed to be regulated, and that the data was clear enough to require regulation, and that we could no longer wait. The key thing here is that the overwhelming body of science continues to reaffirm the fundamental issue that the climate is heating and that the impacts are being seen today. That's kind of like saying because a few kids fail school, that the entire school system is flawed, or that a few kids cheat on their tests, that we shouldn't take the tax test seriously. And again, it's minute variations on data that's at stake here, not the fundamentals of the science. And that's the conclusion that the EPA has come to after their analysis of this. That's the conclusion that the United Nations has come to, and virtually every other nation on Earth, including China and India, are now saying the data is so conclusive, we have to take action. 39 other states have said the data is so conclusive, we have to take action. But not Texas. We're number one in those emissions, and we're number 7 in the world in terms of overall emissions if we were a nation under ourselves. And we have a responsibility because of the size of our emissions to act responsibility as the world player in the economy that Perry is so proud of us being. Because there's money to be made in doing this. The Soil and Water Conservation Board has said there is money to be made by our farmers and ranchers by sequestering carbon using agricultural methods. There's money to be made by dealing with carbon responsibly, and that's what we're asking this state and this governor to do, is to begin to develop a plan to put Texas's enormous agricultural base and oil and gas industry to work in figuring out ways to profit from sequestering carbon dioxide and being responsible through in dealing with carbon.